So this is about family. This is about family togetherness, but this is also about family knowing who we are. And we know that with families, there comes sometimes health issues. So we just want to talk a little bit about what we know has happened and repeated itself in our family. And it may be something that as a family we need to look out for, or we need to make sure that we care for ourselves in a way that these things will not happen, or will not happen as badly as they could. So what I know for sure is that our grandmother, who is Mama Lou, or Louisiana, died from a goiter, and a goiter has to do with your thyroid. And this has repeated itself. So we've had family members that have had thyroid cancer. I myself had some nodules on my thyroid. There was another family member that had to have like a part of their thyroid taken out. So this is something that repeats itself. And so when you go to the doctor, they always ask you, do you have this in your family? You can say that, yes, this is in our family. And you can also see how you can best take care of yourself so that these problems won't pop up. Because we have to remember that genetics doesn't always mean that you are going to get it. It just means that it is something that you need to take care of yourself so that it will not manifest itself in a bad way for you. So that's one thing. The other thing is there is some high blood pressure. They say around most people, most African Americans there are. But we have had heart attacks. We've had strokes.
And I do know that high blood pressure I know a lot of the females, it does run or has been in the family. And so you want to, watch, make sure what you're doing, make sure you're exercising, watching your diet. And so there's been strokes, there's been heart attacks, there has been some cancer, some kidney cancer, some stomach, lung, and some, it happened to some that were early in life, I would say before 50, and then some later in life. But we just want to be on the lookout and make sure that we're doing everything we can, because there is longevity in the Page family. I think the grandmother was like either 90 something or 100 and something. Some others made to the age of 86, 83, 87, 89. So we want to continue that heritage also if we can. So just as far as health-wise, those are the things that I can think of. So we just encourage you to take care of yourself, take care of your body,
and eat right. What I personally would encourage you to do is, all of these things can be managed through food. All of these things can be managed through food. And if you do the study and find out what foods helps your blood pressure stay low, especially, we have some high achieving people in this family. And a lot of times with high achievement comes stress.
Yes.
And with stress comes high blood pressure.
Yes.
So there are ways. So when you're in that and you're going after it and you're getting it, make sure that you're taking care of yourself. And you're going to the doctor, you're getting yourself checked. So with all the love that we have, we are telling you this, we're giving this to you. This is what we know.
This is what we know. This is some things too that maybe we should have known a little bit earlier, where we may have been able to ward off some things. But as she said, just take care of yourself, encourage your family to take care of themselves, and just look out for each other. And it's nothing that you shouldn't be able to talk about so that you can encourage another one. Teach one, reach one, pull one up.
Here you go.
Okay, I am giving some information that was given to me by cousin Pat Prince. Pat Gardenhire Prince. She's the daughter of Mary Lee Gardenhire, who we call Choo Choo Pie, the granddaughter of Louisiana Page. And so she had some family history. She couldn't be here today. She's out of town. So she had family history that she wanted me to pass on. Several stories. One was about Papa Joe, which was Annika Page, husband, and Uncle Richard, which was Reverend Richard Page. Aunt B, they were the barbecuers for the 19th of June on the home place. They would barbecue, they dug a hole in the ground, they used chicken wire to cover and iron poles on each end to keep the wire down, and that's how they barbecued for the 19th of June. They used pecan wood, and so that was who barbecued for them every 19th of June. Also, Pat, Robert Earl, Jean, they picked up pecan chips to use for the fire to help with the barbecue. And Ethel, who was my aunt, she made Kool-Aid in a big barrel and cut up the lemons. That was their contributions to the 19th of June. Thanksgiving, she said, after Thanksgiving, they made fruit cakes. So they helped cut up the fruit and everything that went into the fruit cakes, and then they fed the fruit cakes with whiskey for Christmas. So they put up, in the fall and spring, they put up wallpaper. She said every fall and spring they put up wallpaper. They put wallpaper on the ceiling, they put wallpaper on the walls at Mama Annika's, Aunt Mary, Cousin Fema, and Aunt Izetta, and Aunt Ella. Then she was giving kind of a timeline, because she said in October, Jean, Cousin Philip, Ethel, and Cousin Fema, they picked up Jean and she and Robert Earl, they stayed out of school to pick up pecans to pay the taxes, so Mama wouldn't have to pay the taxes out of her money. In September, she said they went to school the first and second day to meet the teacher and get their books, and then they stayed out of school the rest of the week to pick cotton before the storms came for about 4 or 5 days, so they could get all the cotton up before the storms came. She said they had a sausage grinder. They pulled the corn from the field and they put it in the barn to dry out. Then they take it out of the barn, shell it off of the cob, grind it up in the sausage grinder, and take meal to make cornmeal. So I guess they made all their cornmeal and then stored it. They would can also, they put peaches, corn, figs, sausage. They use a pressure cooker to do this, and then they put it in jars to preserve it and eat during the winter. They fried ground meat also and put it in jars. In February, they killed hogs that they had raised. Then they used big black pots, those iron pots, to wash clothes with. They used oxen soap and bluing for the white clothes and hung them on the line to dry to make them white. And for cooking oil, I used to use Mrs. Tucker cooking oil, or Mrs. Tucker lard. They had wood stoves in those days, and one in the kitchen and one in the living room. They used the wood stove to cook on. They had to cut up the wood and pick up sticks to make a fire. So from wood stoves, they went to kerosene stoves, then they went to propane stoves. Robert Earl, Jean, Pat, Ethel, they worked the fields to buy their school clothes. Aunt Mary Page, and Mama Annika Page sewed for people. They also made the Usher uniforms for the church. They made about 16 of them. They were blue. They made the cheerleading uniforms for the school, about 10 people for the O.H. Herman High School. And back then, where they lived on the prairie, they started out with dirt roads, then to shale roads. She also said that Aunt Mary, Cousin Fema, on Izetta, they milked cows. On Izetta had one that was called Old Mary. Cousin FEMA had a cow named Mary. They milked the cows and they used it to make butter. They churned the butter. They got the cream and then some of the milk to make buttermilk. And she also said Papa Joe had a horse named Old Lucille. He rode the horse to church at Shiloh. And Robert Earl Jean and Pat rode the horse barebacked. As kids, I guess. Uncle Pap had a horse named Old Moody. She said that Uncle Tom Page, had 2 beautiful black mules, Old Bet and Old B. He used them to plow the fields with. And then he had a horse that was named Zor. They raised chickens and pigs. They had a windmill in the pasture between Mama Annika's and Papa Joe's house. Mama Annika and Papa Joe had a water well that you had to pump. She also had a cistern and they used a cloth sheet to cover the cistern so nothing would get into it. On the home place, there was a foot walk that Robert Earl and she, Jean, and Pat used to play on. Robert Earl, Jean, and Pat would help Cousin Philip wax his car with paste wax on Saturday. So they would clean up the cars on Saturday. They went to Sunday school at Shiloh. They walked from the prayer to Cedar Lane to pay bills. The post office was in Cedar Lane. And Cousin FEMA worked for Mrs. Bowie, Mrs. Radcliffe, and Mrs. Carson. Cousin Leola Niney, which is Richard Page's daughter, and Leroy, when Niney got married, she got married at Uncle Tom's house in the front yard. Pat and Jean were the flower girls, and Robert Earl was the ring bearer. Those are stories from Patricia Gardenhire Prince.
Yeah, Lord, thank you for this day. We thank you for giving us the opportunity to gather together as Pages. Help us continue to know more about each other, about our family, about our lineage, about our ancestors. Lord, teach us about who we are. Help us to know whose we are. Continue to give us strength. Help us to grow in the Lord. Thank you for this food. In Jesus' name.
Amen.
Outstanding. We're good.
Right?
Okay, everyone, today is Sunday and we're here continuing on with our Page documentary. We are starting from Leanthea Page, going down to Mama Lou, who was Louisiana Page, then Melvia Stanford Rouse was my grandmother. My mother was Barbara Jean Akins. We have Philip Ward here. He's with, his mom is my Aunt Ethel Ward and my sister Cheryl. And so we're talking about the Page family, how we grew up, how we are related. We have other cousins here. Our currently the matriarch in the Texas family is Joyce Gardenhire Wiggins, and she's here with us today. And so we're going to tell you a little bit about how we grew up, what family means to us, and let you see some of the next generations.
Amen. So, Cheryl, you all have children. Can you share with us who your children are? And let's start with Cheryl, and then we'll go to Deb and then
Okay, I have 2 children. I have Andrea and Marcus. Andrea has 3 girls, and Marcus has 1 girl.
Okay.
Andrea's children are Tiffany, Asia, and Jada. Marcus' daughter is Sanaya. Sanaya is the oldest of the grandkids. She's 10.
Excellent. And Deb, who are your children?
I have 2 girls. The oldest is Latricia Edison Ballard. She has 2 children. The oldest one is Lynn Robert Ballard II. He's 14 currently. And Layla Elise Ballard is 10. My second daughter is Ashley Edison Brown. She has 3 children. She has Jonathan Christopher Brown, who's 8. Ashton Elise Brown, who's 6, and Jackson Anthony Brown, who is 4.
Excellent. And so, how many children do we have here today with us?
I have both of my children here and all of my grandchildren.
Awesome. So we'll get a chance to meet them a little bit later, right?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Boo, Mr. Phillip, and your children are?
I have so many, I really don't know the name.
Well, try real hard. We need to call your wife to help you.
Probably. I have five kids. PC, the oldest one. Then we have Tiffany.
Who is PC
Who is
is
both
Philip.
What's Philip?
His name is Philip Christopher.
Okay.
I have Tiffany, and then I have Caleb, who's my grandson, but we raised him. The other son, they have Josiah. Philip Christopher has 2 boys, Preston and Parker. Tiffany have 2 girls, Savvy and Roxy, and Caleb have a girl,
Khalil.
Aaliyah.
Khalil.
We call her Lily.
Okay.
Three.
My name is Philip Boo Ward. I have 5 kids. Philip Christopher, Crystal, Caleb, Tiffany, and Josiah. PC has, we call him PC, which is Philip Christopher. He has 2 kids, Parker and Preston. Tiffany has two girls, which is Savvy and Roxy. And then Caleb has 1 girl, which is Khalil, which we call Leah. The thing I like about family and what we have here today, usually on Sundays we come together, used to come together as a family, where we go down to the country after church and have dinner with my mother and father, which is after war. So we go down there and have a good time and play and fellowship with one another. The kids to get to know one another real good, and that's what family is all about. Here we're celebrating again today, which we do get together a whole lot of times here in Texas as a family. Brothers' birthdays, brothers' Mother's Day, Father's Day, or whatever, we come together as family to celebrate.
And who do we have here today? How many of your children are here with us today?
4. 3 of them right now. 3 of them.
We have 3. Caleb.
Yeah. PC. The 2.
Oh, start again. Tell us how
He
many.
has
So how many do we have
I
today?
had 3 today.
Caleb,
And
Caleb
PC.
and PC.
Yeah.
The kids here.
And PC's kids are here.
Here.
Tiffany's kids are here.
Well,
Caleb's
she's not.
kid is here.
Right.
awesome.
Okay, and I was talking about the lineage. We're the grandchildren of Melvia Stanford Rouse, and she had 5 kids. She had Ruby, Ethel, Philip was somewhere in between there, but he died early, and then Jean and Robert Earl. And so some of Jean's children are here, some of Ethel's children are here, and some of Robert Earl's children are here. So that's part of our lineage. And then some of Melvia's children, Robert Earl was raised by Annika Page. Barbara Jean and Ethel were raised by Fema Woodard and Philip Woodard. And so we were all here in the same area when we grew up. So we grew up together It's like what he was talking about. We were close in age and close in family.
So hey everybody, I'm Ellery Stanford Anamdi, and we're here in Angleton, Texas with all of my Texas family, and it's exciting and we feel really good about being here. So again, as Deb said earlier, she's very good at bringing it on down, but I'm going to start from Louisiana Page and Philip Stanford. Their 4 children again was Matthew Stanford, who was my father, and then there was Tuchupai, which we call Mary Lee, Melvia, which we call Chupi, and Uncle Clay. So, my brothers, I have a couple, about not quite a third of my brothers and sisters here with me today. There were 8 of us. The names are Matthew, Michael, Millicent, myself, Ellery. After me came Evelina, and then there's Edward, who's right here, Marvin, and Emma Camille. So we're here together. None of our children are with us. Most of my I do have a daughter that moved here from California, but my other children are in California, Ohio, and some other places. And Emma has a son that is in Iowa. Yeah. And Ed recently lost a son, sad to say, but and he was in California with me, right?
Hello, my name is Emma Camille Stanford. I'm the youngest daughter of Matthew Stanford. I remember growing up with all my sisters and brothers, but since I was the youngest, everyone was in school. So I would always tell my dad, hey Daddy, let's go somewhere. We'd end up in the country. I loved it. Came out here, I can, see the horses, see the cows. I remember one day, just playing around, saw a hog, so little, I really didn't know, pulled the hog's tail, and it started chasing me. I didn't want to come back. So, but I loved coming to the country. I loved being out in open space, being able to run, play, do my little flips, whatever. But I appreciate the family that I have. Thank you.
I'd like to tell one story. I came back, I brought my children back after being in California for some time. And I have 3 sons. And we were at Cousin Ethel's house, right? And there was a gun sitting in the garage, just sitting over in the garage. And the boys were like, there's a gun in the garage. And Ethel was there, and I was like, and I looked. They weren't panicked, but they were interested, as young boys will be, right? And so, and then she was there, yeah. One of my sons went and picked it up, and she said, yeah. I said, he said, can we shoot it? I said, can they shoot the gun? And she says, yeah, just as long as they go out there in the woods. I had to really remember how Texas is so different from California. It wasn't a need to panic. They had the best time in the world, and my daughter tells about her brothers couldn't go anywhere without her, and she went with them, and she said she remembers holding the gun and shooting it, and it hurting her shoulder, but she didn't want to stop. She wanted to hang around with her boys. But that's all to say, just the amount of freedom. But let me say this, with all of the gun laws and all that, we were all taught how to shoot and how to do things like that, but we were also taught gun safety. And it was, but it was just a natural part of what we learned as we were growing up here. And I was happy that my children got a chance to feel that and not feel so restricted or that they were such a terrible thing. So that's just something I thought was interesting and fun. And Ed don't want to say nothing.
Nothing.
Cause he was out there swinging. Cause he was out there. When we were yesterday, we was talking about swinging on the vines at whose house? Boo? Uncle Richard. Uncle Tom's house. Edward was out there swinging on. Look, he knows, but he don't want to say nothing. Anyway, he's quiet. The quiet ones are the ones that was the baddest.
Thank you.
All right. Y'all gonna throw me questions or what
Who
y'all?
are you?
Hey, I'm PC Ward, Philip Christopher Ward, and this is my family. It's my wife, Melanie Ward, and our oldest son, Parker Philip Ward, and then we have the youngest son, Preston Christopher Ward. Parker is 5.5 right now, almost 6, right? And then Preston is almost 2 in August. I'm 37 as the time of recording. Mel is 34.
She still don't mind telling people right now, right?
At this moment.
Right. Okay. So you grew up out here. What do you recall about growing up out here?
Hold on. What?
That's all right.
Down? Okay. Okay. Yeah, so I grew up in Lake Jackson down here, and just remember growing up, my grandparents are Dave and Ethel Ward, and so what I remember growing up down here is just going to the country on Sundays, going to church, going over there after church to their house. That's my son. I don't know if it's picking up. You want me to keep rolling?
It's okay.
Okay. Yeah, going down there after church with the family. That's one of the memories I have. Is we kind of passed that point. Come here. We kind of passed that point. So even when we get together like this, is it's a kind of a remembrance of that time that we would have together.
Okay. And what do you wish for your children as we go and finish this? What do you wish?
What do you have anything? What do you wish for them?
I'm excited about this just so that they can know their history, their heritage, and I want them to know both. They get such a unique experience to have 2 different cultures, to grow up with 2 different cultures. So I'm so excited about them getting to just know more about this side, because that's really important for them as they grow up and really important for our family. So I'm really excited about that.
Yeah. She said it best.
Hello, my name is Caleb Nicholas Lemon. I was raised by Rose Ward and Philip Ward, and my parents are Deborah Lemon and Crystal Stone, which is the daughter of Philip Ward. And this here is my daughter, Kalia Lemon. She's 3. And this is my wife, Kobe Henderson Lemon. She is 23, and I am 25. And
So did you grow up here?
yes, I grew up with, like I said, I was raised by my grandparents, and my parent, or my dad, he lived in Sweeney, so I would stay with my grandparents and go there on the weekends to Sweeney, Texas.
Okay.
And
What do you remember about it? Do you remember any fun times being with family and that kind of
like I said, I always had I used to stay in Lake Jackson, and then I used to go, the country, Sweeney and Cedar Lake, and I just like how I get to see both sides of the family, and I want my daughter to grow up like that, staying inside the family, keeping her country life and
her city life. Yeah, cool. Yeah, so that's what you wish for her for the future.
Yes,
That's
just
awesome.
to stay in the roots.
There you go.
Down here in the country, yes,
All right, so Mrs., do you have anything that you want to share with us?
No, I recently came into Caleb's family 6 years ago. They're amazing people. I enjoy the country life also. I'm a country girl. So, I don't know, I just love their closeness, how everything's about family with them. Like they say, every Sunday we were at Mama E's after church, visiting with Papa, eating, just laughing. Everybody would come over. It was a good time, so I appreciate them keeping that tradition on, so my baby girl can get that feel and know that family is all we got and know her roots. So I'm just appreciative of them in this family.
Excellent. So, Boo, you're back again, and you have Tiffany's children.
Yes.
So tell us about Tiffany's children and Mr. Parker, who we've met already.
Well, let Rose tell you about this.
All right, Rose. So who's Rose?
That's my beautiful wife. Isn't she lovely? Hey, how that song go? Isn't she lovely? Who sings that?
Stevie Wonder.
Can we play that?
There you go.
Okay, Philip and I have together we have 5 children. We have Crystal, and then our son Philip, our Tiffany, and then we raised Caleb, and then we have our son Josiah, which is not here today. But these 2 are Tiffany's daughters. We have Savannah Rose and Roxanne Tiffany. Savannah's 6 and Roxy is 2. And if you look at Savannah, she's the spitting image of her mom, which people say my daughter's the spitting image of me. So we're a real close-knit family. We love being, I love being in the Ward family. Ward Page family. Philip and I have been married 40-something years, and so they told me I can't get out now. So
Tell us about the ups and downs of that 40 years.
well, to tell you the truth, Philip is an easy person. He's funny, and he keeps the marriage where everything gets light. There's, it's hardly any really friction. We click.
You laugh a lot.
Yeah, we do.
That's
We
good.
do.
That's awesome.
Look at him. So,
Is he
I try
involved
to
in
get
the
along with
church?
everybody, but
but we enjoy going to the country. That's the thing. I learned from him how dedicated he was to his family when we were, dating and got married. In our young years of being married, he was very dedicated to his family. It helped me to rear my family in that way. So, thank you.
Philip, what do you have to say after all that?
all I can say is thank you.
Okay, my name is Garland Johnson. My father is Robert Earl Johnson. My grandmother was Melvia Stanford Ross. And I'm the oldest of Robert Earl's kids. And this is my sister Adrian, a.k.a. Audrey. And that's what we call her, Audrey.
Yeah.
And I have 3 boys. One is 38, one 37, and the youngest is 33. It's Cedric, Garland Johnson Jr., and Jeremy. And I also have one grandson, Jaden, and he's 12. And he's pretty special to me. And that's only one grandson, and that's it. We grew up there in Cedar Lane, and when my father passed when I was, 14 or so, I guess I kind of was thrown into it being head of the family on my side, my father's side. And we, on the Page estate, I farmed the land there somewhat. And when I say farm the land, we grew hay out there, and we would bale the hay, sell the hay, make a profit, and that's how we kind of made our living with my family, my mother, my 2 sisters, and my younger brother, Robert. And that was one of the things that we did, that came from the Page family that, was instilling us to work.
Right.
That's the only way you're going to have is to work. Yes, sir.
And I'm Audrey. And I have 2 children, Taylor, who will be 30 in July, and Tyler, who is 26 years old. 1 grandson, 3 months old, so new grandmother. And I would like to say one of my fondest memories of the Page family, when my dad was alive, every July 4th, he had 3 hay trucks, and he would load up all the kids in Cedar Lane, and we would go to Surfside Beach. Mama Choo Choo and Mama Fema, they would all cook hamburgers, hot dogs for all the kids that were on those trucks. It was probably 60 kids from the neighborhood, and that was just
the highlight of everybody's summer, and very good times. One of the other things that I'd like to add is that I was the first black valedictorian of Van Vleck High School in 1983.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And we come from a very smart, hardworking, educated family. educated family, and all of my cousins, Deb, Cheryl, Boo, Calvin, and Buddy, we all grew up together and just had the most wonderful time together as family. And even as our children started to age and get married, we all stayed together, the nucleus of the family, and came to each other's events or whatever. And that's very important to me because it helps you to keep family, because we're all that's here in Texas. Yeah. And so that's always been important to me.
That is awesome.
And just to add on a little bit what she was saying about her dad used to pick up all the kids and go to the beach. I can remember the times when we used to load up in a station wagon that my dad had hand painted green with a paintbrush. And took us off that morning, and we would load up and go to Galveston to Uncle Bubby's house or Uncle Alex's house, and I mean we just had the greatest of times. And you know those, you don't ever forget those. You know, and hadn't seen some of you guys in like 40 years or so, and it just feels good right here to see you guys.
Yeah,
it really does.
Yeah, it does feel really good to be here too.
I want to add, like their dad was our uncle, and we thought he was like our hero. So if we needed anything, we called Uncle Robert Earl, and we knew we were going to get it. And I remember Uncle Robert Earl would have these cars, and they were old cars because he had one car, it was the push button to change the different shifts to reverse or drive, and he would fill up his car with gas, and we just go back and forth on that strip. The kids, we'd all be in there. It was Garland, Audrey, Nina, Cheryl, Buddy, Calvin. They weren't able, Calvin them, they were little, but we would drive back and forth. We'd back up all the way, and then we'd go forward. But we learned how to drive. He taught us how to drive. He would get us in the car and we'd go, but we burned up many tanks of gas going back and forth on that street. And then when they moved to Cedar Lane, we'd go around the curve and back around the curve all day long, half a day. Long as the gas was in there, we ride. We ride. So we learned how to drive, but there were a lot of things. I remember with Robert Earl, like he said, he had that station wagon. I forgot what color it was, but
it started out white.
It started out white. And then by the evening, it was Thanksgiving. By the evening, it was green, but we all loaded up. We all loaded in that car, that station wagon. We were like, well, I won't say that. We were in there.
That is hilarious.
And that was Mama, and I think, Manatee may have been living, but I'm not sure. But all the kids and everything, we were in that wagon and went to Houston.
And those were the best times.
And those were the best times.
So all of you guys can back up really, really well.
Right? Oh yeah, I can drive.
We can drive.
We can drive back. We can drive.
And one last thing I'd like to add, whenever your mom and dad would come for Christmas, Emma was my age, and I would just be looking forward for her to come. And now that I look back at, in hindsight, the last time I saw her, I was 12 years old. So it's been over 40 years. And we always remember she was a dancer. She did ballet, and it was just in awe that we thought of her the older we got. So it's good to see her today.
That's beautiful. Hey, Philip. Hey, Philip.
He has some more to say.
I thank God for my Uncle Robert because he was everything to me.
Yes.
I mean, whatever I wanted, whatever I needed, he had it. The thing I can remember, bless his heart, he helped me to go back to college. I went to Prairie View, so I'm gonna come home one summer. I said, I'm gonna throw some hay with my uncle. He gonna hire me out, throw some hay. So early in the morning, when some come out knocking, come on, boo, let's go. About 6 o'clock in the morning. Let's go. It's time to go. I'm ready. Get up, going to go get the hay, throw it up there, throw it back. Next day come, I'm ready again. Going up there, get the hay, throw it down, go back. I said, man, this don't make no sense. I got to put the hay on the truck, then throw it in the barn and stack it and all that kind of stuff. So he came in that next morning. Boo, you ready? I said, no, I'm headed back to Prairie View. That was it for me. I thank God he made me go get my degree. The moral of that story was, you got that degree, I got that degree. I got that degree. So it helped me.
All right. Beautiful.
Okay, this is my family, Deborah, Woodard, Edison. This is my husband, Anthony.
Yeah.
And we've been married going on 45 years. He's been in the family, well, with us longer than that. It's probably about 50-something, but anyway. It's been a long time, but we'll keep him. We have our children here. We have our
He can't get out either, huh?
My oldest is Latricia Edison Ballard and Ashley Michelle Brown. Edison Brown. Can't let that Edison go. Anyway, they have children, so we'll let them. Anyway, they both. Latricia's getting ready to relocate to Philadelphia, at the end of July, and Ashley lives in Pearland, and we love them to death. We love our grandchildren. We're thankful for them. They can be a lot sometimes, but thank God for them. That's the only way the family keeps growing and continues on. So,
I have a question for Anthony.
Me too.
So, okay, Anthony, I remember you when when we were the age to get a boyfriend. And I remember Deb talking about, it was Deborah Cheryl, Ellery and Millicent. And she was like, Anthony. Even then, so you've been around a long time.
I have.
What has that been like for you?
It's been, sometimes she get kind of rough on me because she's a perfectionist. Mm-hmm. And that's why I'm so happy I had girls that shield me. Them girls protected me. And, but at a young age, it's very strange that when you know who God is, you ask God for a mate, and He gave me that perfect mate. And that's just amazing to me. I asked for somebody, and we were babies, really, when we met. When we not met, but when we started talking to each other.
Right.
And it's been a good 45 plus years.
I mean, were we in even high school? Maybe we just started
high school.
I was barely,
yeah, barely. Might have been 9th grade or something like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So God has been good to me.
And it's beautiful. Go ahead.
And God gave me a queen. And she raised 2 queen daughters, which is unbelievable.
Yes, you did. We love it. Hello.
And we tried to bring them up to be independent. We wanted to make sure they were educated, so they wanted to put up no mess from no man. If man would treat them bad, they could make it on their own.
All right.
Okay, I mentioned that we hope that we brought our children up to be independent. And I was saying that Audrey set the bar. Ashley also was salutatorian in our class. And their numbers were so close, I think they kind of fudged the numbers so she could be number 2. Then Tricia, the same thing. She ended up being number 3 in her class. And she was a lot smarter than the first 2. But it didn't matter. The kids, they study. And, they just brainiacs. But anyway, they didn't ever give us any problem that I know of. At least their mama handled it. They didn't tell me about it. And that's about all I have to say.
Hello, I'm Latricia Edison Dillard. I am the oldest daughter of Deborah Woodard Edison and Anthony Edison. Deborah Woodard Edison is the daughter of Barbara Jean Johnson Akins, who is the daughter of Melvia Stanford Rouse. I'm here with my husband, Lynn Robert Bellard, my son of, 16 years. I know, it's a long time. I mean, not as long as 40, but, you know. This is my oldest son, Lynn Robert Bellard II, my only son, who's 14. And this one wants to say hello herself.
Hi, my name is Layla.
And you are 10.
Yes, I'm 10.
Excellent. Okay. Ashley?
Ashley.
Hello, I'm Ashley Edison Brown. I am the baby daughter of Deborah and Anthony Edison. And these are my 3 children. We have here, you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah. Hi, my name is Jonathan and I'm 9 years old.
Yes, Jonathan Christopher Brown II. And then we have here, he is 8, almost 9 years old. And we have here Miss Ashton Elise Brown, who is 6. And then we have Jackson. We have the bookend, the wild one, as they say, who is 4 years old.
4 years old.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm 5 years old.
Okay. So you guys grew up here. How was that? So I'll go first. Growing up here was fun. We got a lot of instruction from all of our relatives. When they say it takes a village, our village was very large, and so we appreciated growing up that way. When I was young, when my parents went to work, I stayed with Choo Choo a lot until she was unable to take care of me. I guess I went to school. And so I remember staying with Choo, vaguely remember staying with Choo Choo, and you had to eat all of your food before you could take a drink.
Yes.
Wow. You couldn't, and you had vegetables. So I was introduced to beets and squash and Brussels sprouts and all the vegetables. And so I do have a love for most vegetables. I still don't like beets. There was also Crystal, who is Philip Ward's oldest daughter, and we were together all the time. She was at Miss Ward's house, and I'd be at Choo Choo's house, or sometimes we would be there together. And so Choo Choo also made us take naps, and we didn't like that. So we would always try to plot to see how we could get to Miss Ward's house.
Okay. Avoid nap time.
Yeah, to avoid nap time. I do remember we did, the others spoke about our Sunday dinner. So what's always been very special to us is everybody getting together. You may go your separate ways during the week, but everybody comes kind of to home base on Sundays, fellowship, food, and fun. And then oftentimes you'd be told kind of what to do or, encouraged or chastised if you were doing something wrong. But those are very good memories that we have, and we do still enjoy trying to get together today.
Excellent. By the way, your father said that you never did anything wrong.
Yeah, they was running away from home.
Oh, okay. Now you're speaking up a little bit. Did you do anything wrong that he didn't know?
No, I was a very good child.
Oh, okay.
I was very good. I didn't do too many things. I was stubborn when I made up my mind. That was it. But normally I was normally pretty easygoing, and I was very good. I listened. I didn't talk back. Not many other people in.
Well, was that your personality or was that your experience? In other words, did you have other cousins that you learned not to talk back?
No. Well, no. It was my personality.
Okay.
I'm not a debater, I guess.
Okay.
Did you ever get a whooping?
Did I ever get a whooping? y'all probably got one or two.
Okay, you
I
unsure
mean, but that
about
was my
that.
fault.
It wasn't your fault.
Yeah, Crystal and I did try to run away one time from Choo Choo's house. We were walking down 457, the road that runs in front of her house. We were walking to Miss Ward's house, and a man stopped on the side of and he came to my great grandmother's house and got her. So yeah, we got a whipping for that. I don't remember the full story, but I know we got a whipping.
Y'all probably got a whipping when y'all tried to baptize me.
We did try, yeah, we baptized Ashton in the bathtub.
Oh my goodness.
Do you let your husband speak?
So were you born and raised here? Is this your home?
I grew up in Beaumont, Texas.
Oh, you did? Okay, you were on the side of Galveston. Cool. So how did you guys meet?
We met at a birthday party of Tiffany. Tiffany, our cousin Tiffany. So Philip and Rose Ward. Rose is his aunt.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay.
So we do talk.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay. I just.
A little bit.
Did you have something? You were raising your hand. I thought you wanted to say something. He's not gonna say anything. Ashley, did you have anything that you wanted to talk about or tell us about?
Yes, so I guess like probably most of us said, like we, growing up in the country, we were all very close. Like I remember lots of summers going, all the kids going to stay at Boo and Rose's house. And, just all growing up together. And I guess for like me and Trisha, we were all so close that, everybody's still uncle and aunt, whether they're our first cousins or not. So, Boo was Uncle Boo, Garland was Uncle Garland. And we all, they grew up like they were our aunts and uncles as well. And, but yeah, I do remember, and then like during the summer, Trisha and I would go to California for a couple weeks during the summer to visit and meet and get to know all of our California cousins. So, that's how me and Ellery's daughter, Elizabeth, are so close now, or me and Kim's daughter, Tila, are so close now. So, like, family meant a lot to them. They've instilled it a lot in us, and we're trying to do that with our children. Like, another example is my daughter, Ashton, was in Audrey's son, Tyler's wedding. So, it's going down, and we want to keep it, everybody real close in the family. And we need this village to help with this one because he's a rambunctious one. Yes. So come out, village. Come through.
Say, come out, village. Come out.
And then we have Mr. Jonathan here, who's our little baseball star. So be looking for him soon one day in the playing for not the Dodgers. No. But he made his 9U All-Star team this year, and they went undefeated and got their championship ring.
Beautiful. So who will you be playing for? Not the Dodgers? Who? Okay, as long as it's not the Dodgers, right? Anybody but the Dodgers?
Anybody but the Dodgers are gonna make the most money.
Okay.
The Astros.
All right.
All right. All right.
Now you started something. So Layla wants to add. What do you want to add,
I
Layla?
play softball.
Very
All
good.
right. All right. What position?
I play all positions.
Oh. She's bad.
But what's your favorite?
My favorite are first and third.
Wow, that's awesome. Wow, you bad. You
Pretty
tough,
good.
huh? That's wonderful. Excellent.
No, I have a question. Why did you try and baptize her in the bathtub?
I mean, she probably needed to. I don't know. We were practicing. I don't know. It was something to do.
Oh,
I don't know what we were doing.
Her and Crystal were bad.
Okay, now the truth come out. Come on.
We were not bad.
Here come up. Okay.
This one, if you said red, she wanted yellow. And Latricia wasn't easygoing. You combed her hair one way, she wanted it another. She didn't want frilly dresses. So you had, and my grandmother was a great seamstress, both of them. The one that raised me, Fema Woodard and Choo Choo. Choo-Choo can make these little frilly dresses just beautiful. Trisha wear them with no problem, Trisha and Crystal. Ashley, I don't want to wear that. We have to go and get something. She just like the little plain sailor dresses. But she's a good child. She, I used to think, I don't know what type of child this is, because she didn't ever want to go to kindergarten and first grade and second grade. Joyce was talking about it earlier. She remembered one Sunday you saying, I'm not going to school tomorrow. But she,
No, as she said, what I heard Joyce say was she said, she was 5 and she said, I think I'm going to be sick tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I can't go to school.
Well, and then we had the neighbors in the family, like Buddy and Mama. They would come pick me up and take me to Church's Chicken, and we would get some fried okra.
She
and I
never
would be
went the
healed.
whole day.
I would be healed.
Yeah, she would be healed. My grandmother, Mama would go pick her up, or Buddy, and then sometimes they were out of pocket, and they called me, and I said, I cannot leave my job every day and come pick up Ashley from school. She has got to stay at school. So my aunt was a teacher, Philip's mother. She would make a little pallet under her desk and keep Ashley there till time to go. So this child, I thought she was going to be a dropout. So she didn't go to school all the time. Finally, we figured out that it was, she was afraid of this PE teacher who was had a masculine voice, big lady. So whenever it was time to go to PE, she didn't want to go.
Oh, okay.
But to say this and to encourage others, even if you don't want to go, you can go on and do great things. Because she went on, she got her bachelor's in mechanical engineering, and then she went back and got a law degree in intellectual property. But I thought it was going to be a lost cause, but she pulled it through. And she went on and got her master's too.
Well, what y'all didn't know was when I was under the desk, I was already learning 4th grade math. So I was like, that had to occur.
Right, so you were bored, right? You were bored.
Well, everybody in the family, if you were on this end, you were going to know math. Because my aunt, there's no dummies in this family, and she taught math.
Oh, okay.
And so you were not going to not know math.
Okay.
And everybody was afraid of Miss Ward.
The teacher.
I know.
She had no mercy on anyone in school. We got it worse than any of the other kids that were actually bad in school.
Exactly. She would make an example of us.
Yes.
Hello, I'm Evan Robinson, daughter of Deborah Watson Triggs, who is the daughter of Elaine Gardenhire Watson.
Who is the daughter of?
Who is the daughter of Chuchbai.
Which is Mary Lee.
Yeah, Mary Lee Gardenhire.
Stanford.
Yes, I have one other sister who is not here, Whitney Robinson. We are both born and raised in California. I recently moved down here to Texas maybe about a year and a half ago. And which is nice because I moved here for a job originally, but I was very happy because I already have family here and I got the chance to get really close to some family members that I haven't been talking to in a very long time. I didn't grow up with, say, this side of the family, so it was very nice and very refreshing to be a part of this village.
Hello, my name is Alton Ward. I am 32. About to be 33 in August. I am the son of Calvin Ward, who is the son of Ethel Ward, who is the daughter of Choo-Choo, who is the daughter of Choo-Choo's name is Melvia. Yeah. And then her mama name is something. Louisiana. So I'm here. I'm the oldest. I have 2 sisters. Aaliyah, she's 28. Chantel, she's 24. And my little brother, his name is Cameron. He just turned 21. They're in Jamaica right now, so they were able to make it. Growing up, I grew up here. I grew up in Lake Jackson / Cedar Lane / Cedar Lake. favorite memory was going down, like the others referenced earlier, going down to my Mama E's house, that's what we called her, and my Papa's house on Sunday for Uncle Buddy's fried chicken. The fried chicken was the highlight of my childhood. I loved it dearly. I love playing with my cousins, Tiffany, PC, Jasmine, Aaliyah, Crystal, jumping on the trampoline. My grandmother, she instilled a lot of values in us, by force, usually. I love her dearly. My grandpa, Papa, he taught me how to drive old truck down the little country road. And growing up, like my Uncle Boo and Aunt Rose, they lived 7 houses away from my dad. So I used to go to their house like every day, and it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Beautiful. So Evan,
Yes.
so your mom was Elaine, and your mom her mother was Choo Choo Pie, with our Aunt Mary Lee. And so they originally were raised down here and moved to California early, and they had lots of children too.
Yes.
So can you talk a little bit about how that family got together?
Yes.
And the things that you guys did, because I guess I want to talk about what was taught even here when we moved to California, the family togetherness continued with the sisters and the siblings and that kind of thing.
That's right. Those family values that were instilled in them while they grew up in Texas transferred over to California. I remember going to my grandmother's house, Elaine, all the time. We'd spend summers there. And actually, I do remember having to walk to Auntie Alma's house, which is not even far. They live right around the corner from each other. So anytime we were bored at Grandma's house, we'd go to Auntie Alma's house. And every time we go to Auntie Alma's house, Auntie Alma was also a teacher. So we had to do hooked on phonics all the time. So we're like, and we're done with that. So we're going to go back to Grandma's house where we're going to actually have a snack. So, but yes, we did grow up all together, and same thing, we'd have dinners and holidays over at Grandma's house, and it was a lot of fun. I actually do remember my great-grandmother, Choo Choo Pie. She used to watch us as well. My mom was going to work, and we used to hang out with Choo Choo Pie all the time. We call her Champagne and Silver Curls. And
okay. So do you guys have anything else you want to share before we close?
I'll just share one thing. Her grandmother Elaine is my grandmother's first cousin. And it must have been 10 years ago. I was in Los Angeles for something, I don't know what. And I promised my mama I would go see cousin Elaine, and I did. And I went to her house. This is the last memory I had of her. I never shared this with you.
I don't think so.
And I went to her house, and we had a good time. She took me to In-N-Out Burger. That was my first time going to In-N-Out Burger, and we both shared. She got a cheeseburger, I got a cheeseburger. We had our fries, and she dropped me off at the airport, and we spent like an hour together, and it was just so special. And that's the last memory I have of her.
Really?
Yeah, and that's what family's about. I'm halfway across the country.
Yeah.
She took me to the airport.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, that is because I think when I first moved to Texas, they gave me your number, and immediately we were like, all right, and clicked just like that.
Yeah.
With no problem at all, like as if we knew each other forever, and we had literally just met that day.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I think so, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Great interview. Good story. I'm going to use that one.
All right.
Okay, great. Good job.
Okay, I am Joyce Marie Gardenhigh Wiggins, and here I am again today, ready to tell you my stories about 3 of my dear cousins. Okay, one is Larry. I knew about Larry, but I hadn't met him until after I finished high school. And I found out he finished from Swinney during the time I finished from Ilion. So Larry always looked out for me. It was a young man I was so in love with, and Larry did not want me to court him. He had to find me. He was going to find me a boyfriend. So that's the story of Larry. My other story is my dear cousin, Dawn Page. We would pick cotton for Cousin Philip. Poor Dawn. He didn't pick but 25 pounds for a whole week. And on Fridays, he was asking, Cousin Philip, I came for my check. I felt so sorry for him. Cousin Philip, son, you didn't make enough to buy your lunch. So how you came for your check? And then my other cousin, first cousin, Ruby, who was Choo Choo's oldest daughter. she stayed with us until she finished high school. Poor Ella, she would take in everybody's daughter that didn't have anywhere to stay to go to Hilliard High School. Ruby would cook cornbread and mess it up and throw it in the backyard. And she'd pay me $25 so I wouldn't tell it. I said, okay, I'm not gonna tell it. You make sure you don't tell them, I'm gonna give you another $25, okay? I'd meet Ella and tell her, Ruby didn't cook no cornbread today. She said, she didn't know. She said, how come you tell me? Because she didn't cook any. She said, well, why are you telling me she didn't cook any? Because she told me to. Okay, there.
Hello, my name is Larry Page, son of Louis Page, grandson of Eddie Page. In my younger years, we were raised in Galveston, and eventually we moved to the country. My mother's name is Ruby. She was a Hopkins before she got married. Then I had a twin brother who late on in age, he passed away, and that was kind of like the worst day of my life. And then later on, I went to work at a Phillips refinery, and during that time I rode racehorses. Excuse me, I moved around quite a bit all over Texas and Louisiana, Oklahoma, everywhere riding racehorses. And then I become a welder, and I welded for the company for a few years, and I decided that I don't want to weld no more, so they kept having me welding. So one day they say, we're going to have to retest all the welders because they lost my welding papers. I said, well, that's good, I can get out of that. So they said, come to the welding shop, everybody's going to take the welding test. So, okay. Of course, I had been welding for about 15, 20 years. So I said, well, I don't know how to flunk this one. So I told the instructor, I don't want to be a welder no more. He said, yeah, but you are. So anyway, took the test. He was watching the first round we made. He said, oh, that's real good. So can't flunk that one. So it's got to get him somewhere. So we made another weld. He said, that don't look too good. Man, need to grind and clean it up. I said, man, you don't think that look too good. Wait till I make the next one. So anyway, I make that last one. He said, ain't no way the wood they gonna pass. I said, huh. I gave him a welding hood. I said, that's all I want to hear. So anyway, I didn't have to weld anymore for the company. I kind of continued on, done the welding on the outside, making crafts and stuff like that. And then, excuse me, my dad would come down sometime and he would talk. He'd always bring us something. And he could sit right close to me to George and he would speak. You didn't say nothing else to him, he didn't say nothing else to you. He could sit there for hours and not say a word. You didn't say nothing to him, it wasn't about you, and he talked to real soul. And sometimes my wife tells me now, speak up, talk, I can't hear you. Well, I guess I got it down through years from my dad not talking loud, or not arguing or doing stuff like this. Just shut up and plus it takes two to argue. You know, he didn't argue, he didn't say too much. I don't do it to his dad. I don't say too much. I don't argue, but you know, get around friends and like playing dominoes and stuff like that. Everything been good in the family, but before the day like today, most of the time we only met families at funerals. And then George said, it's your cousin right over here, something like that. And I worked in Bay City. I had a guy named T-Bone Voice, but he would come down and he said, hey, you can't talk to that girl right there. I said, why? He said, that's your Uncle Willie's, JoJo's daughter's son, daughter. You can't talk to her. So she spotted nothing over here or something. I said, T-Bone, that's your good little girl right there. I'm going to go talk to her. No, you can't talk to her. That's your cousin Bill's nephew's brother's daughter. So you can't talk to her. She's about your fifth cousin. Man, when that cousin blood run out, it don't never run out. So when you go to Bay City, everybody in Bay City can to you. Go to Cedar Lane, everybody in Cedar Lane can to you. Go to Liverpool, everybody in Liverpool can to you. Go to Cedar Lake, everybody in Cedar Lake can to you. As long as you get somebody, you have to go the other way. Go north, not south.
Well, one more thing I have to tell about his dad. His daddy was real funny too. he used to, every time he'd go somewhere, he was always finding something. And he'd bring it home to Mama Lee, who was our great-grandmother. Every time he finds something, he'd bring it to her. Mama, I brought you something. She'd say, if you don't stop going around here picking up stuff and bringing it to me. So one day he went walking, and this man had some hams on the back of the truck, and one of the hams fell out. So he came in, he said, Mama, you know what, when I came down the road today, this man had a lot of hams on the back of the truck, and one of them fell out. She said, did you get it? He said, no, because you told me don't read nothing. She said, fool, that was me.
Oh, man.
Okay, so that's it. Do you have anything else, Larry, to say?
I'm good. My wife is here with me also.
Okay.
Oh, you want to introduce her?
Yes.
Come on, Missy.
And I forgot, I have a son too. He's, even though he's younger than I am, he is 44 though.
Okay, your son.
Uh-huh.
So this is your wife, Larry.
Yeah, this is my wife, Angela.
Hi, Angela.
Hi.
Welcome.
Thank you.
We are so happy to meet you and that you are here today. So Joyce,
Yes.
what does this mean to you to do this and put this on film?
It means a lot to me because, like I say, I love family history. My son loves it. And I'm sure the other generations will enjoy it too. They can see where they came from. They can know about their family, which I think is a very important thing.
Yes. Thank you very much. Okay. Did you want to say something, Deb?
I was gonna say, like Larry, I worked out at Phillips 66 for like 36 years. I've been retired 8, I think. Larry was out there when I came, I think, and I left him out there.
And he's still there.
And he's still there.
Wow.
And I'm happy because I always ask, is my cousin still there? But he does horseshoeing. He does all kinds of things. Makes chairs and stuff. I can't get him to make me one. But he's been at Phillips 66 Company for how long, Larry? 45 years.
Wow.
And they had an article in the paper that we have. I got one last year, and I got one this year talking about him. But he started out, and when he came, it wasn't easy, and I'm sure it's still not easy, but when he first came, I know him being a black guy, it was not easy. Because when I went, as a black female, it wasn't easy. So anyway, kudos to Larry, and I just wanted to add that. He's still going strong.
Okay, and I want to add too, I have been at Duncan Roberts Funeral Home going on 56 years.
Wow.
In December will be 56 years. When I first started, the old man that started this funeral home, he told his son, he said, don't you need someone to work at the funeral home? And he said, yeah, I'm still looking for someone. He said, well, go get Miss Ella's girl. She'll be a good girl. So when he came and talked to me, I had just gotten married, and he told me what his daddy said. I said, your daddy must be crazy, because I'm scared. He said, well, just come and try it anyway. Just think about it. I said, okay, I'll think about it. It was coming up to Christmas. I said, you know, I know I'm going to be scared, but I'm going to go work at this funeral home. And I never thought I would be there this long, but I tell you I am, and I enjoy it.
Awesome.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
I know Larry has something else to say.
You have something else to say, Larry?
Well, I think I was the first black that ever make the front cover
Oh.
of Philip Company, working for the company. And
I want to
I was
know.
well, I made a little horseshoe for up in HR, and they asked me, could I make one for one of the bosses from California? I said, yeah, I believe I can make anything. So he said, can you make it in 2 days? I said, yeah, I can start today. If you just tell me to go home, he said, oh no, we can't do that. So anyway, if you make it for the company, we'll give you $300. And I made the little chair, and once I made that one, it kind of got on the front cover like this, and for about 2 or 3 months, that was all I did was make little rocking chairs like horseshoes. They went California, Oklahoma, Chicago. I did some for Nolan Ryan's father-in-law. I did some for Daddy's Cowboy cheerleader. I did just so many, I can't name the people I've done it for.
Beautiful. Well, congratulations. Well, we are so happy again. As Deb said, Joyce is a matriarch on the Texas side, and I think Alma is 70. Alma, her sister, is 84 now.
Right.
And she's the matriarch on the California side. Yeah.
And I'm 18.
That would be 81 backwards. I'm not mad at you.
I'm 18, so I have a son that's older than I am.
That's a good one.
All right, so Joyce is always saying, when she'll ask you or we'll be talking about ages, and she said, "Oh, you caught up with me and passed me." But Larry's dad was cousin Lewis, who was Uncle Ellie's son, and he was a real comedian.
Oh, my God.
Anytime you get around cousin Lewis, you were gonna laugh and laugh and laugh, but he could also eat. Because when he got to the country, he was looking to see what was cooked and what was we were gonna have to eat.
I'm telling you.
And Boo used to try to sit at the table with them and eat as much as they did. It was cousin Lewis, cousin Sidney, Billy Man, and Boo, and Elma.
And I got to tell this too about Lewis. My aunt that raised me, who was one of the Page children, one Sunday she had baked a cake and she went to church. So Lewis, during that time, if nobody had a key go to their house, you can just walk on in. But anyway, he came to the house and he went in and he saw this cake. He cut a slice of cake and ate it. He went to sleep. And then Elma still hadn't come from church. So he just ate the whole cake. And you know she wasn't gonna fuss at him. She didn't care.
Wow. How do you feel about being a part of this family?
It's great. I know all of us close knitted, so I learned about that.
Yeah. Awesome. So that's important.
3.
So my name is Evan Robinson. It's spelled E-V-A-N-N-E. It is a little different, non-traditional on Evan. And I actually got that name. From my grandmother, Elaine. So my mom wanted to name me Elaine when I was born, and my grandma stopped that immediately. She said, "Do not name that baby that. That is an old lady name, and we do not want her growing up with an old lady name." So, but my mom always liked the name Evan, but she added the N and the E like Elaine, so I have a piece of her with me always. Well, I think recording our family history is very important, and it is an honor to be a part of this process. I think it's great because growing up, I always knew that I had cousins, right? Cousins all over the country. And now I actually know where they came from. I'm like, oh, that's just a cousin. Instead, I'm like, oh no, I know exactly whose mother, whose grandmother, whose dad, all of these people are, instead of, oh yeah, it's just a cousin. So I think it's great to know the history and we pass it down, and it's something that we can watch back over again.
Okay, I am Latricia again. I am very appreciative that we are able to do this and record our family history. I love history and I love to learn more and more about my family. And so I'm hoping that this will be around for generations to come and that someone will be able to add to it going forward.
This is Audrey Johnson Turner, and I just want to say that I'm appreciative of this moment. It's oftentimes that I look on Facebook and I see all my cousins, and I never say add them as a friend because they probably don't know who I am, but now it gives me more reason to go back and add them and hopefully get a connection, a communication started to know our California relatives.
Hello, it's Alton again. This is so special to me, recording and doing a documentation of our history. Our history is part of our identity. It's how we know who we are, where we came from. It allows the generations after us to be able to get a little insight into what it was like in 2023. I think it's going to be really cool in 2083 when, you know, the ancestors after us are looking at this and they're going to be like, "Ooh, it looks so old," you know, because things change. And history allows us to document changes as well. And I'm happy to be here, and I'm thankful for those who have helped to organize this. And that's it.
Okay, I'd like to say I appreciate the fact that we've started doing this and putting it on video. I've always been interested in, you know, who we are, where it came from. And I kind of started with my sister because I did my DNA test. And when I got it back, you know, it went back on both sides to Africa, Central Africa and Northeast Africa, which I think is awesome. So having this on video is great. Thank you.
Okay, this is Ashley here again with A Sleeping Jackson, but I am very glad that that we're documenting this and recording this. One, just so, you know, when we're gone, the generations after us can know more about us and who we were, and then also for like our generation, we can learn more and hear the stories of our ancestors. So I think it's a great thing, and I'm so glad that we're doing it.
Okay, once again, I'm Garland Johnson, Robert Earl's oldest son, and it's been a pleasure to do this, and I'm really, really looking forward to the documentary to come out, just to see what my ancestors, kin people in California has to say, and meet some of those that I haven't met, and that's it.
I am Cheryl Woodard Jones, and this has been definitely a great experience because family is everything to me. I love family, and I'm always looking for places to go, and when I go, I'm looking to see if there's a family member there so that I can save on the hotel. It's always a great experience, and because we are so close, I don't have any problems calling anyone. It doesn't matter who they are, a cousin, aunt, uncle, it doesn't matter to me. If they're a family, I feel welcome at their place. So I think it's a great experience. And then again, the family, when you don't know who's who, you know, I think this is an opportunity. I'll just replay it and find out who belongs to who and how I'm connected. But I love family.
As things come to an end, we've had a fantastic time with the Page family. And we thank God today for everything, because we know without him, what would we have been? We thank him for our coming in. We thank him for our going out. We thank him for our ancestors, our forefathers and fathers and mothers and grandmothers, as we come up, that they was a part and it's still our life, the godly attributes that we might take within us, that we can carry this on not only to our children, but to our children's children. We thank God for the Page family, the strong family that we have, coming from the dusty roads of Buckland Prairie, Texas, to Angleton, Texas, to Lake Jackson, Texas, to Galveston, Texas, to California, to all over the world that we have family members. It's nothing but God. And I thank God for just the day and this weekend as we went through and told through this, to have something to look back at, and our children to look back at one day and be inspired by what they have seen and what have been accomplished through the Page family. I thank God for Ellery, thank God for Dale, her hospitality, and thank God for you, Michael, to come down here to put up with us. Thank God for your love and your attitude We feel like you are part of us right now.
It was easy.
And we thank God. We thank God for each member that's here and those who want to be here and couldn't be here at this time. But we have had a blast. And whoever missed this thing, Lord have mercy. God bless the Page family.
Amen.
Great.
Hi, my name is Tiffany Wynn. These are my daughters, Roxanne Wynn and Savannah Wynn, and I am the daughter of Philip and Rose Ward. And one of my favorite memories growing up is going to my grandmother and grandfather's house in Cedar Lane and just playing with my cousins outside all day long. The sleepovers that we would have and just spending time together growing up was a really valuable experience for me and really helped to shape who I am today.
And what do you think about this documentary? Or what does it mean to you to do it and for your children and that kind of thing?
Yeah, I think it's really awesome to have something to be able to look back on and keep family close and keep family connected, to be able to remember our history of where we've come from. It's something that I know will be really valuable for my kids when they grow up, to be able to have something to remind them of what our family has been through and where we are now.
Would you like your daughters to say something?
Do you want to say something, Savvy? No? Are you being shy? Do you just want to say hi?
Just say hi.
Just say hi.
And how old are you?
Say hi. Yeah, tell us what your favorite things to do are. Say hi. How old are you? Huh? Say it.
I can't tell me. Tell Cousin Ellery, how old are you? Huh? You 2. And how old are you?
6.
6.
Yes.
So what do you do when you're at your grandma's house?
Go on her phone.
Huh? I can't hear you.
Go on her phone.
You go on her phone, you play on your grandma's phone all the time? What do you play?
Color by number.
What is it called?
Color by number.
Color by number. Very good. Awesome. Is that what you play too? All right.
Parker playing.
Oh, excellent. Parker does it too.
And I asked Parker's mom if he would download a game where me and Parker could play. Like I could FaceTime him and we would play a game called Fall Guy where we gotta race it to the end and be the first one there. And there's gonna be obstacles in the way if they gotta dodge them.
Okay. Awesome.
They FaceTime. I
Yeah.
love FaceTime.
That's one of the ways that she stays connected to her cousins that don't live close, is they like to call each other and FaceTime.
Oh.
That's
a new generation thing that they get to do to stay connected to family.
Wow. What do you want to say about mother and father?
About my mother and father, they are great parents, have always been great parents. They've always valued our family and keeping us close and creating different experiences like this for us to be able to get together and keep us close and connected.
Fantastic.
Awesome.
Good?
You want to say something? What do you want to say?
Oh, yes.
Okay, what do you like to do? She wants to say what she likes to do.
Go
What do you
ahead.
like to do?
My favorite thing is when I play with my sister and my dad always makes funny jokes.
Oh, is that right? Dad makes funny jokes. Okay.
All right.
Do you laugh at his jokes? Do you laugh at your daddy's jokes? Okay.
Awesome.
We're good.
All right.
That's good.
Thank
Okay.
you. We're glad you made it, Tiffany.